The maid had worked in luxurious mansions before, but nothing like this one. The billionaire's estate was so massive it felt unreal, stretching farther than her eyes could see. Everything inside was polished to perfection, from the golden chandeliers to the silent, automated corridors. Tonight, she was working late, cleaning the upper floors after the usual staff had left. She was exhausted, her feet aching, but the pay was good, too good to ask questions. She pushed open a door, expecting another guest room. But the moment she stepped inside, something felt off. The air was cold, unnaturally cold. The lights weren't the usual warm glow but a strange blue hue that pulsed slightly, as if the room was breathing. A faint mist hovered above the floor, curling around her feet. This wasn't just a bathroom. Her fingers trembled as she reached for the switch on the wall, but before she could press it, a shadow moved behind a glass panel on the other side of the room. She froze. The glass looked like a huge shower enclosure, but something was inside. The figure didn't move like a person, it was too still, too strange. The outline was taller than a man, with elongated limbs and an unnatural stillness. Her heart pounded. She took a slow step back, barely breathing. Was it a statue? Some kind of high-tech display? Then, it moved again. A low, mechanical hum filled the air, and the glass panel flickered. Symbols she couldn't understand flashed across the walls. An eerie alarm blared overhead. The doors behind her slammed shut. Panic surged in her chest. What was this place? What had she just walked into? Before she could react, footsteps pounded down the hall, fast and urgent. The door burst open, and the billionaire himself rushed in. But his face wasn't filled with anger. It was filled with fear. And then he said the words that sent ice through her veins. You shouldn't have seen this. The billionaire stood in the doorway, his chest rising and falling as he stared at her. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The maid's breathing was ragged, her pulse hammering in her ears. She didn't know what she had just seen, but she knew one thing: it wasn't normal. Nothing about this was normal. I was just cleaning, she stammered, stepping back. I didn't mean to. The billionaire lifted a hand, silencing her. His eyes darted toward the glass panel. Inside, the shadowed figure remained still. A slow hum pulsed through the walls, vibrating in her bones. The symbols on the glass flickered, reacting as if the thing inside was aware. The billionaire cursed under his breath and took a step closer. Tell me exactly what you saw. She swallowed hard, her throat dry. There's someone in there. The billionaire's expression didn't change. If anything, it hardened. I need you to listen to me very carefully. His voice was low, urgent. This is not a bathroom. This is a classified room in my estate, and you were never supposed to enter it. The maid shook her head. I don't understand. What is this place? The billionaire hesitated. For a brief second, she thought he might lie to her, tell her it was just a project, a prototype, a machine of some kind. But then the glass shifted. She heard it move this time, a sound like metal bending, twisting. Her stomach clenched. And then, the figure inside the glass opened its eyes. A bright, silver light burst from within, illuminating the room in an unnatural glow. It wasn't human. It wasn't even close. She took a sharp step back, but the billionaire grabbed her wrist. Don't move. The maid's skin crawled. What is that? The billionaire took a deep breath. Then, he finally answered. That is not from this world. Her breath hitched. You mean? Yes, he said, his voice grim. It's an alien. The words shouldn't have made sense. They shouldn't have been possible. But in front of her, in that containment chamber, was the proof. She should have been terrified. Instead, all she could think was, Why was he hiding it? And more importantly, why was he afraid? The maid's body felt frozen in place. Every instinct screamed for her to run, to escape, but she couldn't move. Her gaze locked onto the thing inside the glass chamber. The silver glow from its eyes pulsed, as if it was watching her back. The billionaire released his grip on her wrist, his face tense. He sighed, running a hand down his face. "I need you to understand something," he said. "What you saw, what's in there, is not dangerous." The maid's eyes darted between him and the alien-like figure behind the glass. "Not dangerous?" Her voice cracked. "You locked me in here. You have alarms, security." She gestured wildly at the containment unit, whatever that is. "And you're telling me it's not dangerous?" The billionaire's jaw clenched. "It's complicated." She scoffed. Complicated? The man had an alien in his house, and he called it complicated? The billionaire took a slow step toward the chamber. "I wasn't hiding it because it's a threat. I was hiding it because the real threats are out there." The words sent a chill through her. She stared at him, then at the glowing figure inside. "So you're saying you're protecting it?" The billionaire hesitated, then gave a single nod. "Yes." The maid swallowed hard, her mind spinning. This wasn't some science experiment. This wasn't some billionaire's weird hobby. This was real. She licked her dry lips. "Where did it come from?" The billionaire exhaled. "I don't know its real origin. But it wasn't found. It crashed here." Her stomach dropped. "Crashed?" He nodded. "Years ago. It was barely alive. The government would have taken it. Experimented on it. I couldn't let that happen." The maid stared at him, her hands trembling. "So, what now?" Before he could answer, a sharp beeping sound filled the air. The billionaire's head snapped toward the chamber. His expression turned from calm to alarmed in an instant. The symbols on the glass began to shift rapidly, glowing brighter. And then the glass cracked. A loud, piercing noise ripped through the air as the containment unit began to fail. The maid took a step back. "What's happening?" The billionaire cursed. "It's waking up." And then, for the first time, the alien moved. A low, vibrating sound filled the room. The chamber flickered, struggling to hold. And then, it spoke. Not with words. With a voice inside her mind. "Who are you?" Her breath caught in her throat. She wasn't supposed to be here. But now, it knew she was. And everything was about to change. The voice wasn't spoken aloud. It didn't pass through her ears, it echoed inside her mind. "Who are you?" The maid stumbled backward, clutching her head as if she could push the voice out. Her heart pounded so hard it felt like it would burst out of her chest. She wasn't the only one frozen in shock. The billionaire had gone completely still, his gaze locked onto the containment chamber. The alien inside slowly turned its head, its silver eyes burning into hers. Her entire body tensed. She couldn't move. She couldn't breathe. The billionaire's voice cut through the silence. "Don't answer it." The maid's wide eyes snapped to him. "What?" His face was pale, his hands clenched into fists. "It's testing you." The glass cracked again, a web of fractures spreading like lightning across the surface. The voice came again, deeper this time. "Who are you?" The maid squeezed her eyes shut. This wasn't real. This couldn't be real. But it was. And she could feel something strange, like a pull in her mind, as if something, or someone, was searching through her thoughts. The billionaire suddenly grabbed her arm, snapping her out of the trance. "Look at me," he ordered. Focus on my voice. Don't let it in. She gasped, gripping his arm. What is it doing to me? The billionaire's jaw tightened. It's reading you. Trying to see if you're a threat. Reading her? She felt sick. The room shook. The alarms blared louder. The billionaire's eyes darted to the control panel. He rushed toward it, typing frantically. The containment is failing, he muttered. I need to. A loud hiss filled the room. Her stomach dropped. The glass shattered. A burst of icy air rushed past her, knocking her back. She gasped, trying to regain her balance. The billionaire was already moving, reaching for something under his desk. A weapon? A control switch? But the alien, it was free now. It stepped forward, its long limbs moving fluidly, graceful and unnatural at the same time. And then, it did something she never expected. It collapsed. The maid blinked. What? The alien struggled to stand, its body weak. Its glowing eyes flickered, like a dying flame. Her breath caught. It wasn't attacking them. It was suffering. She hesitated, her instincts clashing. This thing wasn't human, but it looked so fragile now. The billionaire knelt beside it, his face torn between urgency and something else, guilt. Help me, he muttered. The maid's heart skipped a beat. What? The billionaire looked up at her, his expression deadly serious. We need to save it. Her blood ran cold. Save it? Before she could react, the entire mansion shook violently. The alarms changed tone. A robotic voice boomed over the speakers. Security breach. Unauthorized forces detected. A new kind of fear gripped her. The billionaire's hands clenched. He muttered under his breath. They found us. The maid's breath hitched. Who found them? And why did it feel like she had just walked into something far bigger than she ever could have imagined? The ground shook beneath her feet, the alarms blaring like sirens in her skull. The billionaire sprang into action, pulling a sleek metallic device from beneath his desk. With a quick press of a button, a security screen flickered to life, showing distorted camera feeds from different parts of the mansion. The maid barely managed to catch a glimpse. Shadows moved in the corridors, fast, calculated. They weren't just security guards. These were intruders. Her stomach twisted. Who are they? The billionaire didn't answer. His face was grim, his fingers flying over the control panel. Locks engaged. Defense systems activated. Power rerouted. The alien on the floor let out a soft, shuddering breath. Its silver eyes flickered weakly as if it were barely holding on to consciousness. The maid's gaze darted between the billionaire and the alien. She still couldn't wrap her head around what was happening. She had only come to clean a house, and now she was trapped in a war zone with a dying extraterrestrial. Listen to me, the billionaire said sharply, snapping her out of her thoughts. They are not here for money. They are not here for me. They are here for it. Her breath caught. The alien. She looked at the creature again. It wasn't resisting. It wasn't trying to escape. It was just there. Vulnerable. And yet, these people wanted to take it. Her mind raced. Who are they? She demanded again. The billionaire clenched his jaw. People who don't want the world to know the truth. A sudden boom rattled the entire floor. The maid stumbled, grabbing onto the desk to steady herself. The camera feeds flickered violently. The billionaire cursed. They've breached the West Wing. We don't have much time. Her heart pounded. What was she supposed to do? What could she do? She watched as the billionaire rushed to the alien's side, carefully lifting its limp form. The creature flinched, but it didn't fight. The billionaire turned to her, his eyes burning with urgency. "I need you to help me." She hesitated. "Help you, do what?" He exhaled sharply. "Get it out of here. If they capture it, it's over." The weight of the situation crashed down on her. She could turn and run. Try to find a way out. Pretend she had never seen any of this. Or she could stay and help save something, someone, that wasn't supposed to exist. The billionaire's expression hardened. "Decide. Now." The walls shook again as another explosion rocked the mansion. And just like that, her choice was made. She took a deep breath, stepped forward, and said the words that would change her life forever. "Tell me what to do." The billionaire didn't waste a second. He tossed a small, metallic device into her hands. It was no bigger than a deck of cards, but it pulsed with an unnatural energy. "Take this," he ordered. "It's the key to everything. If we don't make it out, you run. Don't stop. Don't look back." The maid's hands trembled. What is this?" The billionaire didn't answer. Instead, he shifted the alien's weak body in his arms and started toward the hidden passage behind a bookshelf. The ground shook violently. The walls cracked. Gunfire echoed somewhere in the mansion. The maid's breath hitched. This wasn't just an attack. It was a hunt. She followed him into the passage, heart pounding. The walls around them were lined with metal, a secret escape tunnel leading to, where? She didn't know. But it had to be better than staying here. The billionaire tapped a control panel on the wall, sealing the entrance behind them. The noise outside vanished. It was eerily silent. Too silent. The alien in his arms stirred, its silver eyes flickering open. The maid froze. For the first time, she saw it up close. Its skin was smooth, almost translucent, glowing faintly in the dim light. Its eyes, not human at all, pierced through her, as if it was looking straight into her soul. A wave of calm washed over her. Not fear. Something else. The alien spoke. Not with words, but inside her mind. "You are different." She stiffened. The billionaire noticed the change in her expression. "It's talking to you, isn't it?" She swallowed hard. How is it doing that?" "Telepathy," the billionaire said, moving faster down the tunnel. "Its species doesn't use speech like we do." She glanced at the creature again. It was studying her. Then, a strange feeling pulsed through her mind. An image. A memory. Not hers. The alien was showing her something. A ship, falling from the sky. Fire. A crash. People running. And then, a man in a suit, standing over a fallen body. Holding a gun. Her breath caught in her throat. The billionaire's voice snapped her back. "They're tracking us. We need to move." Her mind reeled. She had no idea what she had just seen, but one thing was clear: this alien was hiding more than just its existence. It had a story. A past. And someone wanted to bury it. Suddenly, the tunnel ahead burst open. A blinding white light flooded the space. Figures emerged, men in black combat gear, weapons raised. The billionaire stepped in front of her. The alien in his arms gripped his sleeve weakly, trying to say something. The leader of the armed men stepped forward, his voice cold. "Hand it over." The billionaire's grip on the alien tightened. Not a chance. The man raised his weapon. And the maid made her choice. Without thinking, she grabbed the metallic device in her pocket and pressed it. A blinding pulse of energy exploded through the tunnel. The soldiers staggered back, momentarily stunned. The billionaire turned to her, eyes wide. What did you just do? The maid didn't know. But whatever it was, it had just changed everything. The explosion of light and energy sent the armed men stumbling backward. The billionaire seized the moment, grabbing the maid's wrist and pulling her forward. "Run," he shouted. She didn't need to be told twice. The tunnel ahead opened into darkness, and they raced through it, the alien barely holding on in the billionaire's arms. The air was thick with dust, the walls vibrating from the blasts above. The maid's mind was spinning. She had no idea what she had just activated, but it had given them a chance, a sliver of hope in a battle she never meant to be part of. Behind them, the soldiers recovered fast. Their boots pounded against the tunnel floor, voices barking orders, weapons cocking. They wouldn't get far. Unless. The maid saw it first. A steel door at the end of the passage. But it wasn't just a door. It was glowing, the same unnatural pulse that had come from the device in her pocket. She skidded to a stop, gasping for breath. This is what I activated. The billionaire didn't hesitate. He shoved the alien's weak body into her arms. Her heart nearly stopped. What are you doing? His expression was sharp, urgent. Determined. I'm staying behind. No. The word shot from her mouth before she could stop it. You can't. The billionaire gripped her shoulder. Listen to me. A loud bang echoed behind them. They were running out of time. If they catch me, they'll stop chasing you, he said quickly. The only thing that matters now is getting it out of here. She shook her head wildly. There has to be another way. The billionaire smiled, a tired, knowing smile. Sometimes, we don't get another way. The maid's eyes burned. She had spent her whole life cleaning up after people. Invisible. Replaceable. She had never meant to be part of anything bigger than herself. But now, she was holding something, someone, that could change the course of history. And someone was willing to die to protect it. The billionaire pressed something into her hand. A small, metal chip. The world isn't ready for the truth, he said. But one day, they will be. A gunshot rang out. The billionaire spun on his heel, raising his weapon as the soldiers rounded the corner. The maid's heart cracked. She didn't want to leave. But she had to. Taking one last look at the man who had trusted her with everything, she turned and ran through the glowing door. A blast of light swallowed her whole. Epilogue, a new truth. The maid woke up somewhere unfamiliar. A vast, open field stretched before her, the sky endless above. The alien in her arms stirred. She sat up slowly, her mind racing. The billionaire was gone. The mansion was gone. And in her hand, the metal chip pulsed softly. She closed her eyes. She had never asked for this. But now, she carried a secret that could change everything. The world thought they were alone. They weren't. And one day, when the time was right, she would tell them. No matter the cost.